In today's video, I am going to teach you how to filter in a pivot table. Filtering in a pivot table is one of the easiest ways to focus your report on the exact information you want. Instead of scanning the whole table, you can show only the categories, dates, or values that matter most to your analysis. First, click any cell inside your pivot table to activate it. When you do this, Excel recognizes that you want to work with the pivot table, and it will display the pivot table tools on the ribbon. Take a moment to look at your screen after you click. You should see that the pivot table is selected and the interface changes slightly to support pivot table actions. This step matters because without activating the pivot table, Excel may not show the correct tools and options for filtering. Next, drag the field you want to filter into the Filters box in the Pivot Table Fields pane. The Pivot Table Fields pane is the area where you see all the available fields from your source data. Think of the field you want to filter as the category you want to control. For example, it could be a product name, a region, a department, or any other column from your dataset. After you drag it into the Filters box, Excel will create a filter control for that field, which you can use to choose what to display. Look for the Filters box area specifically, since that is what tells Excel you want to filter, rather than a row or column grouping. Now, after the field is added to the Filters box, click the drop-down arrow that appears in cell B1 above your table. This drop-down is the actual filter you will use to control the pivot table output. It is often placed near the top of the pivot table area, and cell B1 is a common location depending on your layout. When you click the arrow, a list of items will appear. These items represent the distinct values for the field you just added to the filters area. At this point, you should check whether you need more than one option selected. If you need to show multiple items at the same time, click to check the Select Multiple Items box. This is an important distinction because some users want only one category visible, while others want to compare several categories within the same pivot table view. When Select Multiple Items is enabled, you can choose several entries from the list without losing the selections you have already made. Finally, you will adjust which items are visible by unchecking and checking items in the list. Uncheck the items you want to hide, and check the items you want to see. As you make these changes, the pivot table updates to reflect your selection, so you can immediately verify that the results match what you intended. If you uncheck too many items, the pivot table may look empty or incomplete, so take a second to confirm that the remaining items are the ones you want. Once you are satisfied, you can leave the filter applied and continue working with the pivot table, such as reading totals or analyzing the summarized data. That covers everything you need to know, and that is all there is to it.